So, basically, most of the town was on fire, and we headed to see that Captain Reed, and, told him what was happening. But it wasn't them what had been reported as being suspicious. It was the other ones, right? The ones what was doing the reporting. Anyway, it was a bit wound up.
And the next thing I know of it, you're turning up as the town's expert on something you've only just discovered yourself.
It involved using plants. I'm good at plants.
You didn't even know it used plants until you got to Mary's. Me sat there, all spit in my tail. Oh.
Look, if you never had anything, you've had a wound and your mum just says, let the dog lick it.
No.
Too fancy for your own good. Anyway, you got your wobbly tail sorted.
Yes, and you got a few books. You seemed quite excited about the one on ropes, but the one on bear rats was quite something to hear.
Bear rats are adorable.
You're not having one.
Just a little one.
They're all little, and no.
But what if did get a bear rat?
I'm not dignifying you, dear.
Pay no attention to that box over there, with the holes in it. So we saw Mary, and then we learned that you need, like, holy water, symbols, precious metal things, and that'll ward off the infection.
Yes, and burn. So much.
A little bit of burning's good for you. You're a tiefling, I thought you'd be good at that.
It's unnatural to me.
Anyway, turns out the infected ones get linked to this hive mind, and there's like a lord rat.
Yes, I suppose that's something we should look for. At least if we need any more holy symbols, there's always Thomas's old home.
Certainly worth a look.
Perhaps we should send Gary to go run there and find out for us.
Anyway, as we were heading back out, that's, is it Gary? Teddy?
Jerry?
The cowardly one.
Yes.
Anyway, he said that Litonk and Thomas were looking for us.
Yes, he asked us to come and calm things down.
And we did just that.
No.
Sort of.
You grabbed two people by the skulls.
Sometimes it's the easiest way to calm people down. Just a bit of a head squish.
Well, you managed to have 10 people attacking us. I had to start shouting again. I don't enjoy it.
But you're so good at it.
I know, 6 of them just went running.
Anyway, I used my detect magic, and it turned out they were both rats.
Yes. It's a shame it took their friends a little too long to believe them. Thomas does an impressive job with that axe.
It's very cleavy.
Yes. He's sadly not quite as good with his throwing axes.
Oh, there was that slight accident.
You just kind of look over in Thomas's direction, are alarmed to see him covered in blood, and you kind of start to say something. You don't know if you managed to get it out because all you see is him suddenly lift an axe from his belt and throw it very quickly in your direction. You don't know if... You can't tell if it's your own weakness or if you were pulled into it or if Thomas missed it by a lot, but you suddenly find an axe in your side. You're going to take 5 damage.
Gotta be careful about these wounds, though. Can't keep reopening them.
Oh, that one was magically healed.
It's gonna get infected.
Magic. This snaps Thomas out of his rage, and he's like, oh no!
Take them alive, and preferably leave me that way.
The, Weret's turn. He's gonna round on you now that he knows what you're doing. And he's going to run at you and slash with his saber, pulling the... Do you pull the axe from your wound, or do you just leave it there?
I'm going to leave it there. If someone hits me in that spot now, there's an axe in the way.
Okay. Yeah, so he goes to stab at your wound, assuming that you're going to pull the axe out, but you kind of manage to maneuver out of the way and also use the axe's own handle to deflect the blade, making the most of this improvised armor.
It's not the most comfortable set I've ever worn.
No. Lady Wererat is going to stab at you. This is going to hit you. Wait, what's your armor class? 10.
10.
Yeah. Damn, most stuff hits you. You're gonna take another 5 points of damage. With your back turned from the first blade, she slashes at your back again.
I'm down to 9 out of 20.
Never fear, Trees is here.
And now it's Litonk's turn.
Right, grappling. I choose how the grapple's done, either strength or dexterity, right?
No, I've been corrected on that. Just strength, it seems. Oh, wait. Do you get to do that as a monk? Here it is. Are monks able to substitute dexterity for strength in making grapple checks? No.
Well, there we go. It's strength.
Oh, God.
What's your strength?
Fuck all. +1. 21. Crit.
Nice. Okay. So, despite your size, which rat did you go for?
I'm guessing the one that I drop kicked in the last round.
Okay. So, you make a running leap onto the back of the cocky-were rat and just kind of do a cool acrobatic, like, head scissors on it. It's trying to fight you off, but despite your size, you've got a good grip and tangle on his limbs, and he's gonna fall to the ground.
Nice.
And now it is Doggo's turn.
Okay. Doggo, what have you got? 9.
Doggo is gonna go over to Litonk and try and like put his little paws on the were-rat to try and keep him down. Dig at the thing. It's not very effective. Doggo is not a combat doggo.
I really need to train that dog.
Now it's Tree's turn.
Okay, what was your health enough?
9 out of 20.
9 out of 20. Okay, I'm going to attack. How are the rats looking at this point?
The lady rat is all kinds of messed up.
Mhm.
And the cocky rat is currently being choked out.
Okay, I'm going to go for a non-lethal strike on Lady Rat. 12. Oh, jeez.
So taking careful, like specific care not to endanger your team members, you're trying to pick your shots carefully, which unfortunately means that you didn't connect with the lady rat, but you also did not hit enough.
Yay.
Surprisingly rare find lately.
Enough, it's your turn.
10. Get me a dazed rat.
So you're grappling?
Yeah,
No. She has not been dazed for a while, by the way.
I know, but you've not given her a real name.
Yeah, I said lady.
How about Daisy?
Daisy.
Yeah, Daisy. I like that. Daisy rat.
Daisy rat.
So I go to get her dry the neck and I just sort of end up stroking down her back instead. No, I like the idea I threw up on her tail while I did it.
Yeah, you're really fighting the sickness while you're doing this.
I mean, I'm having a terrible day.
You are.
I've had a rapier through me, I've had my tail chewed and spat on, it's burning, it's twitching.
Don't
Thomas
forget the
has
axe.
stuck an axe in me, which has then been hit again as some sort of impromptu armour. I'm having a terrible day.
It's Thomas's turn.
Come on, big boy.
And he in a mix of apology and remaining rage is going to charge at Daisy Rat. That's a hit. Oh man. So he charges full sprint, but he is taking very careful care not to hit you again. So while he hits Daisy, it's like with the broadside of Goldie. So he just kind of smacks her in the face with the broadside of his axe.
Like a frying pan.
Yeah. She's taking 1 point of damage. Cocky Rat is going to try and break free of your tiny death grip, Litonk. Go ahead and roll an opposing. You can do dexterity or strength.
I'm going to use dexterity.
Now that you've got the hold applied.
Oh, God, it's only 10.
Oh, it's fine. I rolled a 2.
Oh.
Well, you've got Dog's tiny paws helping you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Daisy Rat. She's going to continue to go for you enough, the person who's clearly having a bad day, and she's going to hit you. She's going to deal 6 damage.
Down to 3.
Now it is Litonk's turn.
What can I do here?
Well, you're in grapple position. You can basically take an attack of opportunity and continue to punch this guy.
What, the one that I'm grappling?
Yeah, he's failed to break out.
Just put him to sleep. Do cool monk shit.
If you do something to threaten or if you do something that would allow him to try and break out, you'll still roll against him.
Yeah, I'm going to use an attack of opportunity. Non-lethal, just try and, headbutt him to try and knock him out or something.
Okay.
So you're going to hit him with a pan?
I'm going to hit him with a pan. 19.
Nice. Okay, so now roll your grapple.
22.
Nice. Okay.
Cracking
So
out the big guns now.
you angle upwards, like kind of inching your body along to get into a position where you can really headbutt him, and you do, and then cinch the grip on even tighter as he struggles. Now it is Doggo's turn. What would Doggo... You can give general direction to Doggo, but he is still a free beast.
What did my attack of opportunity achieve then?
You dealt... Oh shit, you didn't roll damage, did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Just,
Roll damage while Doggo decides to do something.
4 damage.
Nice.
I'm trying to think what Doggo could do that would be useful at this stage that isn't going to be lethal.
Could try grappling, couldn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
Could just be a bonus for germs.
It would,
maybe?
yeah, it would just be adding an assistance to you, unless you want to try to let the dog take over the grapple.
No, I was saying grapple the other one.
Mm.
That's currently beating the shit out of enough.
Doggo, if you could take care of that other one there.
Roll for an attack.
18.
All right. Doggo barks dutifully and bounds over to Daisy and just takes a big chomp out of her leg. You can roll for damage.
4. Yes.
Nice. And that is enough for Daisy to like let out a strangled cry and crumple to the ground as Doggo just continues to like bite at her.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yay!
So combat has concluded. Litonk still having a like death grip stranglehold on the cocky rat. Also the human has now like stopped twitching. He's totally dead.
Oh, shit. Trees? Never mind.
I was wondering if she were ever going to
I
get
was
around
going
to
to
that.
mention we should probably keep him alive.
Nobody I know I couldn't know or care about. Are you alright, love?
I've been better.
Yeah, okay, I will pop my last level 1 spell slot. I will do a cure wounds. 12.
There you go.
Nice. Back to 15.
Thomas kind of walks over and sheepishly like,
I like that as the axe sort of like drops out, enough just catches it and passes it to him.
yeah. So as your wounds knit themselves, Thomas sheepishly takes the axe from you. I'm sorry.
It's fine. And she's going to look at Daisy. And Daisy's about to have a bad day.
Daisy's died.
I thought it was the human that died. I thought Daisy was just knocked out.
Nope.
Oh. Well, now I don't have anything to vent it on.
Got the other rat.
Oh yeah, I've got the other rat. They can have a bad day instead.
You might find Gutless Gary.
Oh yeah, I'm going to use him as a human punching bag too.
Probably hiding in a box somewhere.
Okay. Enough's just going to reach out for both of his arms, like crush her claws through his wrists so that they come out the other side between the two bones.
Oh. Damn.
We're off to see the guard captain. Are you going to come quietly or are you going to come screaming?
It's squealing. It's squealing in so much pain.
Excellent. And she's just going to drag it through town like that.
Okay.
If at any point the squealing gets quieter, she's going to
Okay.
twist. Anywhere rat within hearing range is going to know how bad of a thing they are about to face.
Making your way through town with the screaming rat definitely is drawing attention. But you make your way to the guard quarters pretty easily. Everybody roll a perception check for me.
3.
11.
13.
All right. Latonk, you hear another set of footsteps with you.
Is it Timmy back to pretend that he was there all along?
You notice Gary suddenly with your group again.
And the Tom wouldn't know what the...
He might know. I don't know. It depends on
He
how
might
well
know.
Can you smell?
how does Litonk
I know, you
identify
probably only
people?
ever heard him running.
He's not known to walk.
Yeah, the Tonk is going to sort of echolocate. Well, not echolocate. It's going to listen to where the footsteps are and sort of grab him, not knowing who he is.
I see.
And
How high does he squeal?
yeah, where, how low do I grab?
Oh,
Oh my.
Yeah, and the Tonk's just going to be like, "Can I help you?"
where have you got hold of him as you're asking that question? Because it could be read either way.
You grab him by the calf. It's the easiest way to like render someone to stop moving, and he lets out like a strangled yelp. No, it's Gary.
Gary?
The card?
Gutless Gary! Oh, okay. We're off to see the captain. Are you sure you want to join us?
You can't see it, but he scowls when you call him Gutless Gary.
Yeah. So I take it everyone knows he's here now.
Yes.
Oh, hello, Timmy. Would you be so kind as to run ahead? I know that's definitely in your wheelhouse. And ask that we could have a cell. The worse the better. Bye.
He lets out like just a noise of protest, but he like runs ahead of you guys. Thomas lets out a snort. And if none of you guys are going to say anything, then you guys will make your way towards the guard's post once more. You see a few patrols, like similarly in states of rough wear. Lots and lots of people are being arrested or being led to the post in cuffs. Reed is actually outside, and you see him talking to Gary, and he's just like yelling at Gary.
Do we hear any of it?
Yeah, he just yells, "Jerry, what am I gonna do with you?" And he spots all of you, and he kind of walks over very quickly, concerned. Thomas, why are you covered in blood?
Does Thomas go to answer, or can the smarter person answer first?
Thomas opens his mouth, but you can have the opportunity to cut him off if you'd like.
The fight that broke out. We warned people to get back. Most of them did. Someone decided to take a swipe at him. And now there's two halves of someone.
Yeah, he hasn't said anything, but Thomas is bleeding pretty freely from his abdomen. And Reed goes, "Oh, God, this is what you get for not wearing armor. Get yourself to the medical tent."
Enough's just gonna sort of like look down at her sides and chuckle. I've brought you a present, Captain.
Yeah, I could hear it from like half a mile away. Jerry will lead you. He should be able to handle it on his own, but kind of looks back darkly at Gary.
Well, let's just hope I can keep up with him.
I'm not sure I trust him to open a wineskin that was already open.
Jerry, put the irons on this thing. The elf guard meekly goes and gets the some manacles and puts it on the still squealing rat.
What? No muzzle?
We don't. I guess we could get a muzzle.
No muzzle. Just take it to the cell.
All right. Do you want to go with him? It's secured now.
On the one hand, I want to interview it. On the other hand, if someone on the guards has detect thoughts, I don't need to.
I think the priority is to rest.
What do you think, Jen? Try and get some answers out of it? Or...
I've got 3 level 2 spell slots left. That's about it.
I've got 3 level 1s, which that doesn't cover detect thoughts. Yeah, I'm fucked. Okay. So should we make our excuses and just go and collapse in a heap?
Makes sense.
Nobody would blame you. Reed kind of looks between the 3 of you and Doggo. Don't take this in a bad way, but you all look terrible. You all look like you need rest.
Can confirm, I'm knackered.
I'm actually pretty alright, to be fair.
Wait, no, you're also wounded, but from falling on a sword.
Yeah, since my last rest, I've taken 6 damage.
That's true.
Yeah, I've nearly hit 0 twice.
It's because you are squishy.
Your party
Can I
composition
go and just buy some armour, just like, even if it's just a plate that goes on that one side?
Your party composition is hilarious because you have a long-range magic user, a druid, and a monk, and none of you can like take damage.
I can take what?
Yeah, you don't bother though, do you? You're always fucking about, riding dogs in the background and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's wrap this real quick. Reed has Gary take the rat into the prison, and he gives you a small stipend of gold that he can spare to resupply you. He's gonna just give you 50 gold between the 3 of you. I mean,
I love how it's a number that don't divide by 3.
fine, 30 gold.
Come on, 60.
No, 60. 60 is fine.
So 20 each.
Yes.
Okay.
He's like, this is pretty much just to give you guys room and board and supplies and anything you need. I promise you more is coming. We're kind of in the middle of everything.
Yes, well, I think it's time for us to go and lie down.
Yes. So after visiting with the guard captain and delivering the were-rat to Jerry, or Gary, or Terry,
Timid.
Timmy. After delivering the were-rat to the guards, you all have made your way back to the Peacocks Feather. Each of you bruised, battered, and broken in your own respective ways. Litonk being pretty much no worse for wear, though. In the meantime, we're gonna level you up and get you guys resupplied. Take the next steps from there.
Can I check in with Anna on the way in to see if she's got payments set up so we don't have to keep paying her for the room?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tonk is actually going to go onto the roof of the building.
Okay.
That's his background as a street urchin. He spent a lot of time sleeping rough. But with the fact that he slept in luxury the night before, and then all this shit started to happen, he kind of feels that perhaps the luxury was not earned, and because of that, the consequence was all the shit that's happened now. Sort of a pseudo-religious thing.
This is what most expensive breakfast brings you.
So yeah, the Tonk's actually going to head to the roof for a bit of alone time and to sort of keep an eye out on the town.
An ear out.
Keep an ear out, yeah.
An ear and nose out. Okay.
So, does Anna have us sorted, or do we still have to keep fecking about paying her?
No, she lets you know that your house has sent correspondence that they have received and will be handling the bills appropriately, although they are requesting some clarification. They are a little confused at some of the charges.
Okay.
Good thing the Tonk's not here.
The charges that they're disputing are exactly the ones that you think.
Would enough be able to just cover the rest of those out of pocket?
Yeah.
Okay. How much is that going to set me back?
Actually, I don't know what gold you have.
I've got 143.95.
It's going to be more than that.
Wowza.
Jesus.
Should we just find somewhere else to stay?
Yeah, because the lodgings are free and stuff. It's just the ridiculously most expensive breakfast.
That actually was not one of the charges.
Oh.
It is the crystal bottle that Litonk shattered
Oh.
and its contents.
Okay. Enough's just going to write a letter back explaining the absolute state of the town, but that, she's gone and got an entire holding to swear fealty to them. So, sorry, I guess take it out my wages.
Make a diplomacy roll, and I'll just give you,
That's not a
6
thing.
weeks later.
Would it be persuasion?
Yeah, persuasion. Damn it. I got it right earlier. What's wrong with me?
14.
Okay. 6 weeks later, Enough will receive a sternly worded letter stating that these charges, while erroneous, they understand the circumstances and they're willing to cover it.
And we've done nothing for 6 weeks.
No, it's just like a flash forward, eventually.
Oh, okay. We don't know we're going to survive that long.
A thank you would have been nice. I got them a whole fucking holding.
Oh no, they let you know that they're very proud of you and pleased with your progress.
Okay, so they're really nice about everything, it's just the charges, they're still a bit snotty. Thank you, that's all I wanted. Just constant validation.
They are very concerned about the fact that there was I'm gonna let you know that bottle costs 600 gold.
I'm gonna let the Tonk know that bottle costs 600 gold.
The Tonk is just going to go, ha!
You wasted it. You just destroyed it. Nobody got to drink that. And you destroyed the bottle.
Most expensive mess.
You're right, heat metal's a great idea.
Isn't it?
Okay, so we now don't have to worry about paying for board or reasonable food.
Yes.
So that's a result. I just realised I don't have a second set of clothes, do I?
Nope.
That feels like something I should have.
Potentially.
Are we going to be doing anything this night, or should we just go level up?
Can we go on a shenanigan adventure, or do we just have to chill out here?
We're all knackered you're all knackered enough not to go on a shenanigan adventure.
Whatever it needs to be 8 hours rest so that we get our
Health points and stuff.
stuff back.
I just want some jammies. I've had a hard day, I want some jammies.
Oh.
I feel like Enough would get along with Emily very well.
I don't know. Would Emily bring jammies?
That's one of her current character storylines. Quest to create pajamas in a time where they do not exist.
Excellent.
To answer James's question, you have no pressing like adventuring business. That's not to say that you couldn't go and get into a fight if you wanted to.
Litonk has no interest in doing that right now.
Okay.
I feel like we need to get sleep and get back to dealing with the pressing problem at hand. So the only thing I would want to do in downtime is whittle myself another dildo.
Another one?
I'm going to ask Trees if she can take a look at my tail. Children.
Use it as inspiration.
For the dildo?
Yeah, it's a dildo muse.
I meant to see if, I'm going to catch dead.
Okay, so we'll do tail first.
Okay,
So what, medicine check?
Yes.
Enough's just going to sort of like sit on a leg, which, it's nice that it's not twitching, I guess. Cringe a little bit, because I'm going to guess that it's going to be pretty sloppy under there.
Ooh, I've got +7 on that.
Nice.
I'm going to touch myself for guidance, so whatever it is, it's plus a d4. So 18.
Nice. So, taking a look at underneath the bandages, you were actually pretty impressed by Mary's medicine work. Other than just the kind of general gross slimeness, it seems to be doing a trick.
Does it look like I need to swap out the bandage for a new bit of root and stuff?
Your experience with medicine does not suggest that would possibly hurt, although you don't think that it's entirely necessary.
That seems fine. I'll just give it a wrap up for now. And yeah, I reckon a few more days that'll probably be just fine.
Thank you. And she's just going to like shimmy her tail back under herself to cuddle back on her leg and then go wash herself and her stuff and just collapse in bed.
So what am I rolling for dildos? I can't remember. I might have been dexterity.
Let's see.
Depends how big it is. It might need to be constitution.
I'm not testing it. I'm just whittling it.
Sleight of hand, I think we ended up on, because they don't have craft checks anymore.
That's a 7.
So, just Trees is just not on her game this evening.
Apparently not.
I'm trying to think of what could be throwing you off. Maybe it's concern for enough, just like quiet looking over her as she's trying to hassle through cleaning herself with a large bandage on her tail.
Wait, why is she looking at me cleaning myself? I mean, feels a bit pervert.
And Enough seems like the kind of person that would pull the blind round.
Yeah. Well, she's looking in your direction as she can't do it silently. There's still like fidgety noises.
Just a lot of splashing and swearing.
Yes.
And not the fun sounding kind.
So it comes out more like a club, like a penis-shaped club. It's not your proudest work. In fact, Trees would be like, I don't really want people to know that I made this.
No, I will put it aside for now. I may come back and see if there's anything I can do to redeem it at a later time.
All right. Litonk, are you just gonna be sitting on the roof?
What time were we talking? Sort of dusk?
Yes. Night has fallen.
Yeah, he's probably going to sort of meditate until it gets properly dark and then sort of curl up and try and get a bit of sleep.
All right. So the smell of smoke on the air kind of starts to slowly dissipate, and you feel much more at ease sleeping up here than you did somehow in the soft bed. You hear the soft noise of like somebody opening the door that led up here, and you hear the girl from the front desk, Anna, just kind of call out, are you okay?
Yeah. Are you?
Yes? I heard you come up here, but I hadn't heard you come back down, so I wanted to make sure that you were all right. Are you staying up here?
Yeah, I'll be staying the night up here. I think it's for the best for everyone's safety.
Can I get you a blanket?
No, thank you.
Okay. Well, if you insist, and she'll just leave you alone at that point. Are you gonna be doing anything else up here? Just hanging out?
Yep, it's just gonna, just
Meditate yourself 10 extra hit points, I guess. Jammy bag.
Yeah, meditate until the sun goes down and then go to sleep.
Okay. So the day's reflection, brings you a lot of time to dwell on the differences and the path that you've taken. I'll say that you're in some deep reflection on a lot of the information that you've come to accept. This river of life business, the were-rats, kind of buying into your own ideology that needless luxury begot this kind of poor fate for this town. Although it is some kind of circular logic, as you're not really able to link your actions with why the town is suffering. You feel like your part in all of this definitely has to do with you taking part in it.
Yeah, I mean, out of character logic, like if Litonk was on the roof last night, then it might have gone differently because he would have been sort of out in the open when shit was happening, whatever shit was happening. So I think there's just that twinge in the back of his head that because he decided to do something quite different and experimental for him. And as soon as he did that, things started to go bad. It's kind of shook him back into his old routine.
Okay. That's fair enough. So, yeah, throughout the night and throughout the evening, Litonk can hear the movement of guards. He hears active patrols. At one point, I'll say you even hear Gary kind of moving around in your area.
Running, is he?
Why don't you just go ahead and make a perception check for me, just for fun?
I was just going to ask if we've technically leveled up here.
Yes, you have. At this point.
Oh, nice. 22.
Nice. Yeah, you hear Gary by himself. He's like muttering. You can't make out the words, but he's definitely you definitely get the idea that he's not with a patrol group like he should be.
Okay.
He doesn't come near enough to your building for you to like interact with him.
Cool. Oh, fuck, I can't see. I was going to do Batman and sort of like go to the ledge and sort of look down and see what he's doing, but fuck.
Batpan, I love it.
Batman.
Batman.
Litonk's going to get to his feet and yeah, he's going to start sort of scrambling across rooftops, doing a bit of parkour, just trying to tail Gary, and yeah, he's just going to continue the observation and sort of keep tabs on where he's going and if he's doing anything. Yeah, he might bump into someone and start talking with them and stuff like that. He's just trying to figure out what he's doing.
Okay.
And why he seems to be alone when the other guards weren't.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you to make an acrobatics check to continue to try and keep up with him and blind fight, place yourself on these roofs, and then another perception check.
15 for the acrobatics.
Okay.
21 for the perception.
Nice. So you leap from one roof to another, kind of following the voice of Gary, who seems to be skulking around in the evening on his own. You hear him mutter something about needing to find it before he darts off in another direction. Go ahead and make another acrobatics roll, and then a perception roll for me.
Oh, fuck. Why am I failing on the acrobatics? 8 for the acrobatic.
Okay.
17 for the perception.
So, scrambling from one roof to the next, you misjudge where something is and kind of end up clinging to the side of a roof. So you still are well within your range to be hearing for Gary, but you've realized that you've made some noise scrambling onto this roof to not fall. You hear him pause.
I pause. You ever see like when if there's a cat in the garden or something, and then you make a noise, and it hasn't noticed you yet, and then it just sort of stops when it hears the noise?
Yes.
That sort of standoff where he won't be quite aware of what I am, and I'm not quite aware of where he is, but I'm aware that he's changed his behaviour, so I'm changing my behaviour.
Make a stealth check for me.
Oh, I've got proficiency in that too. Awesome. 24.
Nice. So, channeling your inner cat, you kind of slink your way up onto this roof and creep over to where you can last hear. You manage to get yourself a lot closer and understand that he's kind of frozen in spot. You hear his breathing, which I'll say you notice is actually pretty well trained for somebody as cowardly as him. You get the sense that Gary has gotten this far in his career being a survivor, a cowardly survivor.
Yeah, wait to see what he does next.
Yeah, after waiting long enough, you hear him continue to quietly move. You can make another acrobatics check for me, and then another perception.
21 on the acrobatics.
Okay.
Oh, only 5 on perception.
Okay. So you are able to track his movement, but you get led to a place, to some roofs with some more people around. You're distracted by the noise of the patrol and just people milling around, unhappily like stuck in their homes for the evening, that you can place where Gary is, but you can't figure out what he's doing. After this, you hear him meet up with some guards and kind of just talk general guard stuff. Patrol routes. He makes up a lie about, moving from one patrol to here,
Okay.
and then he moves off with them.
Okay. Litonk's gonna return to the Peacocks Feather. He's not gonna barge in and alert the others just yet. He's just gonna return to his spot on the roof and carry on the Overwatch kind of business.
Okay.
I'd imagine we're getting some food at this point.
Have I grown whiskers yet?
You've grown no whiskers. Anna knocks gently at the door and kind of pops her head in. Can I get anyone food?
I would kill for some veggies, and I think Doggo here could probably use some meat. Whatever you got.
Meat.
Yes, friend. Meat.
She kind of nods, and you hear distantly like scratching on paper. And anything for enough?
She's just going to be unconscious on the bed.
Okay. Do you want that veg raw, or do you want it steamed?
Raw, please. That'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
She retreats, and after a few minutes, returns with a cart of uncooked vegetables, a smattering of fruit, and just some raw steak as well.
You're the best. Thanks very much.
She bows deeply and then wishes you a good evening as she leaves.
I wish her a good evening in return.
Nice.
And I give Doggo the meat.
Doggo is ecstatic. Doggo is chewing thoughtfully, and he kind of just looks over at you, and he's gonna ask you a pretty deep question. How would you want Doggo to address you?
I thought we were just going with Big Doggo.
Yes. So, Big Dog,
Hi, Doggo.
why do you help the small foods?
It's important to help people. Like, you want foods, so you get foods. And that's helping you. And they need stuff too, so I help them with that.
Are they part of your pack?
Basically, yeah.
So small food is like small dog.
Exactly. Like a relative litter. You're right there, Doggo.
He's continuing to chew.
If he's done and we's done, I'm happy to go to bed.
All right. And then everybody levels up now. Officially. Yay.
Yeah, because I realized the one thing we have been using is using the new stats.
Yes. I mean, I'd figured you were, but, I was the one who said level up in the middle of the day rather than take up time.
I wasn't.
You'd saved your old stats?
I've only used them this night when I was chasing after the gutless Gary.
Did you? Wow.
I did what the DM told me.
Well, they didn't tell me that we'd leveled up in game, so I assumed that I was just supposed to have it ready for when he told me to have it.
Oh well.
I like my instructions specific, okay?
Same.
I kind of want to give enough a bonus as well as Litonk, but I don't know what.
Can I go buy armor?
Inspiration. Get an inspiration die for the day.
Yeah, that'll work.
There you go. Sorted.
I've got an inspiration.
Lovely.
All right. So you all wake up feeling pretty refreshed. It'd be hard not to feel refreshed enough. Make a constitution check for me.
I've got a 6 on that.
Nice.
So, for my level up, I've got a new cantrip, Ray of Frost. It's another evocation. And It's got 1d8 cold damage, and also the effect of slowing what it hits by 10 feet until my next turn.
Nice.
So that'd be good against rats if they're getting a bit flighty. And a new level 2 spell, which is Web. And again, that's more of a restraining rats and stopping getting hurt by them again. It's a concentration spell of up to an hour, and it makes a 20-foot cube, or a 20-foot but 5-foot deep layer on the floor, or a wall if I choose to do it that way. And anything that starts its turn in it has to do a dex save or be restrained, and it can use its turn to make a strength save to try and get out of it. Other than that, then they just can't move, and it can be set ablaze for 2d4 fire damage, anything it hits. It's a crowd control. She's gone for crowd control.
Nice.
And an extra point in intelligence.
It's helpful. How about for trees?
I've increased my intelligence and wisdom by 1 each, which means they've both ticked over. So I've now got a wisdom of 20 and intelligence of 16, which has maxed out my modifier on wisdom. Nice. And I've taken 2 new spells. I have 2 second-level spells, Heat Metal, so that I can deal with Litonk if he tries to ride Doggo, and Beast Sense, so that I can look through the eyes of Doggo, should I need to, as a little spy guy.
Litonk is putting... I'm putting 1 point in wisdom and 1 point in dexterity. That just ticks over my dexterity to give me a +4. But it also increases my armor class by 1, and I get an extra key point, and I get slow fall. So if I fall, then I can resist 20 points of damage.
I thought it was for 20 foot you didn't take damage.
I thought it was just damage it negated.
Enough. You should have increased 2 things.
I was going to say that.
Oh no, I meant I put 2 points into it, so its modifier's gone up by 1.
Got
Right.
it.
You can use your reaction when you fall to reduce any falling damage you take by an amount equal to 5 times your monk level.
Oh, sorry, my bad, you were right.
So yeah, I can negate 20 points of damage from falling.
Nice.
That's tight.
And you rolled a crit on your hit points.
Oh yeah, so I get plus 10 points of health.
Someone's brave, actually using the roll for it option.
Yeah, I was like, no, don't do it. On average, you're going to be worse off. He's rolled every time. Out of the 4 times he's rolled, he's had 3 8s.
Nice.
Jammy.
I'm not that brave.
I mean, either. I've just been using the average.
So, I mean, statistically, for the first 4 or 5 levels, it's worth just doing that anyway. After that, it becomes generally better to take the risk. But you're so squishy.
But yeah, I've now got 24 hit points.
Got 36.
I got 29.
Wow, I really am just the squashiest.
And you've only got 10 armor class.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did this work as you're a bodyguard?
Well, I'm wearing my travelling stuff.
I suppose.
Plus, you know, if they've already got past, like, the plane guards in plane armour, then they're probably going to need to meet a shit ruiner. And I'm good at that. I'm going to make it a small mission in life to have someone teach me armour proficiency.
I mean, I'll say, like, as you're passing through the markets, enough does get, like, the idle consideration, like, maybe I should get armor. But to your understanding about it, you know that you would be incapable of casting any kind of spell until you receive the proper training for it.
Okay. Would the training to casting armour be something that I could wheedle out of someone as a quest reward? Or would it have to come out of a level up?
Let's put a pin in that too. I'll think about it.
Oh no, this just means I have to be nice to you for a week.
Yeah.
I can't do that. That's like 7 days too many. Alright, so what do this morning then?
I guess we should probably check in on the guard captain.
When does Litonk come down?
He'll come down at dawn, I guess.
And just
Or maybe a bit after, when he reckons everyone's going to be awake.
sit in the room?
Yeah. Or wait in the lobby.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to specify to me what he wants to do.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to go out of the room and not knock. He's just going to try and walk in.
Oh, you've got a key.
Have I?
Yes.
We've all got a key.
Oh, okay. He's just going to walk in.
All right. You don't hear anybody else awake, but you are aware they're in here.
So I hear them asleep.
Yes.
Right, okay. Sit down,
Play with dog.
meditate, play with the dog, admire some dildos.
How are you going to do that?
Can feel.
Oh yeah.
Man, you're taking a real gamble there, aren't you?
We want to sniff him first, Lev.
So Doggo comes over to you when you come in. He just kind of sniffs you and then licks the pan, and then quickly stops because he's licking metal. Wouldn't do enough, and trees wake up.
I wake up last.
Kill Surprise. Right, Enough's gonna get up before she gets out of bed, like, just gingerly test the tail, see how it's doing.
Okay.
How is it doing for a sleep?
Yeah, so you slept well, you feel nice, but something about resting overnight has made the tail twitchy again.
Alright, does it smell bad?
No.
Okay, just twitchy. She's just gonna get dressed, cuddle it to a leg and try and sort of tense against the twitching, and go order breakfast. She's just gonna take initiative on Trees and Doggo. Litonk, do you want anything?
Just some roughage. Some apples and oranges and
Fruit and porridge for everyone then.
I was
Awakened.
last night.
Well, you were outside.
Yeah, and the guard patrols I could get past, apart from one. Our friend Timmy, the gutless Gary. Unlike any of the other guard patrols, he was on his own.
Was he running in the opposite direction to someone by any chance?
No, but he was muttering to himself about finding the thing.
Well, that's interesting.
I get the sense you don't trust him as it is, but we should probably be taking an extra attention to what he's doing.
Well, I was hoping to have a word with the rat we caught yesterday, and a detect thoughts spell. If you could ask some rather leading questions about that, he won't even know that I'm doing it. If you can get his surface thoughts to be on what he was trying to find, or what he was doing.
Okay, cool.
If Trees wakes up, let her know. And she's just gonna bob downstairs to find Anna.
Okay. What is Enough looking for?
She's just gonna ask for, like, some porridge and fruit for breakfast.
Okay.
Summit foot dog.
Enough finds Anna at the counter, who accepts the order and then just assures you that you can go back to get some more rest. She does look concerned for you.
Do I catch sight of a mirror at any point?
Yes, there's one behind the bar.
Alright. Do I look particularly ghastly, or...
You look pale.
Okay.
She's turning into a werebucket.
A were bucket?
Pale.
Thank
Oh,
you.
God! Oh, I thought you were better than that.
I'm not.
You are actual trash.
Wow. You gonna just go back to the room?
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing particularly stopping you. I'm just what's Trees doing?
How long have they been gone?
Yeah, not too long.
We went to get order food and then
Like
come
10-15
back.
minutes, like we had a chat and ordered breakfast.
Okay, 10 minutes is probably long enough. Yeah, I'm probably just about up by now. Probably have a rinse in the bath.
All right, so the pair of you then return with food.
Okay, I'm just gonna tell her the thing about Gutless. Any thoughts?
It's a little bit concerning. Perhaps we should look into this slippery little fucker.
I want your interpretation on the thing, Nick.
Okay.
Detect thoughts has a range of self, because it's me that's doing the detecting.
Mm-hmm.
And if I focus on a creature, I can learn its surface thoughts, guided by, like, you know, you can lead it verbally. Does that mean that for every casting, I can only use it against one creature, or since it's self, can I change who I concentrate on?
So it's any creature that you can see within 30 feet of you.
Nice.
There's some specificity in the longer text.
Right, so you're saying if I have Gutless in the same room... Why did we not name the rat that's actually alive?
What, Daisy?
No, Daisy's dead.
Yeah, Daisy died.
Yeah, the one we didn't name survived, which just runs counter to all good narratives. We need to name it.
I mean, if you want to peek behind the curtain, I didn't anticipate you keeping one alive, so there's a lot of things that I'm being... If I named every single guy that you guys fought, do you know how many names would be wasted without you knowing them?
I mean,
Poor Larry, the giant rat in the fucking catacombs.
you named Daisy.
One of you guys named Daisy, if memory serves me well, which it might not.
Well, don't look at me like mine works.
I called this one Cocky Rat because it dodged like 3 or 4 hits in a row.
I rolled a 1 and I didn't reroll.
Yeah. Litonk tried to elbow drop onto it, and he just elbow dropped onto its sword instead.
Right, so the plan
Uh-huh.
is go to the guard place, interrogate the rat.
About the hive mind thing, and if there's 2 warring factions of rats, and what in general they are up to.
And also to get info on Gutless Gary, the guard,
Okay.
So if I...
after breakfast.
Yeah, after breakfast. Like, let's focus on what's important here. There's were rats in a suspect guard, but I'm hungry, so...
Mm-hmm.
Alright. If I interview the rat and you ask Gutless about what you saw, well, heard?
Okay.
Okay.
Also, bear in mind that this spell has a time of 1 minute.
Thought it was longer than that. Right, might have to use it twice.
Well, I think it might be best if I come with you to speak to Gutless. See if I can intimidate something as well.
Yeah,
Maybe.
so if we try persuade, intimidate, mind read on both of them, like, we'd have to go sequentially because of the time limit.
This doesn't seem like it's going to be messy.
Well, we've separated them out. We don't have to have them around to use the same...
Oh, it's not going to be one interrogation room and Litonk's pinned up Gary going, "What were you doing last night?" Whilst, like, Trees is trying to punch the shit out of the rat going, "What's with the factions?"
Yeah, we'll take them in turns. Do you think we should speak to Captain Reed about him, or just have at one of his guards without asking first?
Maybe best to speak to the captain.
Very well.
Okay, so your breakfast goes without incident, which is pretty rare for you guys, now that I think about it.
That's the first thing in a week that's gone without incident.
And without anything else to do, you guys head towards the guard tower. Walking the streets, they seem much less safe and happy in the time that you guys have been here.
Well, I feel attacked.
The citizens definitely seem less happy, obviously because of the increase in guard patrols, occasional stop and searches by the guards. They let you guys through because they know who you are now. But most importantly, it's, just the general sense of unease that's putting everybody off. Again, you can make your way to the guard post without incident. Doggo dutifully at Trees' side. Just outside the guard tower, you find Thomas clutching his side, but more or less upright.
Good morning, Thomas. How's the side?
It'll heal. Takes time. He kind of lifts his hand, and you see that it's, like, not freshly bleeding, but it's bound. So, didn't think that you guys would manage to bring one in. Don't know why you didn't just kill it.
Because we're going to ask it where more are. Think of it as an investment. Have you seen your cousin around?
Yeah, he's inside. I'm just here in case somebody needs help, I guess. I can come with you if you want.
Fine by me. Trees?
Sure. More the merrier.
Litonk?
It's always fine by me.
He puts his he puts his hand down near you for like a high five.
Do I want to do a perception check?
Yep. You're gonna have to.
Oh, 15.
Okay, yeah, that's enough.
Nice. I give
No,
him
I'm
a
enough.
hearty high five. Or a low five, I guess.
Yeah, it would be a low
A
five.
relative high five.
Thomas is pleased, and he leads the way inside the guard quarters. Yeah, inside it's definitely a shift from how you've seen it before. The people are up, active, kind of filing reports and talking to people. Nobody pays you too much mind as you enter, and the stairs up to Reed's office are pretty crowded as people are looking out the windows and kind of bustling around with scrolls and equipment. So I'm just going to assume that you guys want to walk straight into Reed's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, inside Reed's, you kind of notice that more than a few of the axes are down, being cleaned, or just missing altogether, perhaps entrusted to some guards. Reed himself is looking over some papers as you guys come in. He stands and kind of gives Thomas a good hearty clasp on the back. Finally bloodied. Or bloodied again. It's gonna be a good scar. How are you three doing? He looks between the rest of you.
Yeah, pretty good.
Good.
I've been better. And she's just gonna look at the twitchy, rancid leg. Well, tail leg.
He peers down at it, because it's still on your leg, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he nods. That'll be a good scar too.
I don't know if it'd be appropriate to say colour me stoked, but...
Would that be sarcastic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really sad. I don't want to be snarky with him. I want to ask him for something.
Alright.
I was hoping to have a word with one of your new guests, if that would be okay.
If it's the one that I think of, yeah. You have to have good luck with him. I don't know how much longer he'll stick around. Not looking to kill him, but he's not letting anybody get near him, and you all did a number on him.
Yeah, we did. Also, we want to have a word with that Getless Gary.
Who?
Timmy the Timid Guard, the one who will run from his own shadow, given half a chance.
Oh, Jerry. Is his name Gary?
Yes.
We called him Gary the Gutless Guard.
He kind
Maybe his name is Jerry,
I
and
don't
we
think
just
that's
called
his
him
real
Gary.
name.
he pauses and frowns. Is his name Gary?
Honestly, I have
Perception
so...
check.
Do you want to
insight?
Yeah, you guys can do an insight check. He introduced himself to you.
He told us he was Gary, and I think everyone just calls him Jerry because they have no respect for him. Or it could be the other way around. I have no respect for him either.
Yeah, I assumed we had no respect for him.
Maybe it's all this bullying that's making him into a bad person.
If you care, you can make an insight check.
7. I almost care.
You have two distinct memories. He introduces himself both as Gary and Jerry, and you can't remember which one is right. They are identical memories.
Well, if only it mattered.
Yes.
Yes. I'm a little bit concerned by him. I trust you won't be... Are you particularly precious about him?
No, not at all. I don't think he's I don't necessarily think he's a concern. What's your interest in him?
And then we tell him about what he did last night. Unless someone's got a cleverer way of doing that.
Nope, that'll do.
Yeah, Reed frowns as Litonk regales his story of blind ninjaing over the rooftops. Well, that does sound like him. He's an opportunist. Never thought of him as a particularly efficient or effective guard. But he's a decent runner and good at gathering information.
You're telling me?
If you have concerns about him, feel free to look into them.
Thanks.
Thank you. Perhaps I might put him on a leash before I try.
Ooh, I might have one of those.
Was that in character?
Oh, yeah.
Reed opens his mouth and then closes it. I don't think he has a response to that, but Thomas is like, is your leash for the dog?
Yes, dear.
Where would put a leash on a dog? It's cruelty.
So you can lead the dog places.
Oh no, not again.
I mean, we're doing a fine job without it.
I don't know. I needed a lead to take it for a run, apparently. I don't even know if the dog's like a boy or a girl. We've had this dog for so long, and we haven't even asked it that. Or named it. We're really bad at dog ownership.
Are you planning on fucking it?
Oh!
Then why does it matter?
I was maybe planning on addressing it at some point.
What's wrong with Doggo?
Reed clears his throat. I know now might not be the time, but I feel obligated to remind you that bestiality is illegal in this city.
Just as bloody well. At least you got some sense of civilization around here.
Yeah, I don't know what else to add to that, but thank you.
If someone's a werewolf, is that bestiality?
Enough's just going to start walking down the stairs. You can have this conversation without me.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow.
Oh, have fun, Nick.
Who did you ask, Litonk?
I think it was just an out loud question.
Okay.
And now you've got the two orcs without a pet to answer it.
I suppose if it depends what form they're in. Like human form, and that's not, I guess. And then the wolf or rat form, then it is bestiality. Plus, there's always the defense of actual ignorance. Like, if someone doesn't know that they're a werewolf or were-rat, and they're just in human form, then there's no actual intent or knowledge of bestiality. So how can that be a crime?
Hello and welcome back to Hour 2 of Bestiality Watch.
Is Litonk saying all of this?
Yeah, he hasn't noticed that everyone else has left.
Roll a perception check for me.
Are you just desperate for him to have noticed?
6.
So there's some awkward silence. You hear rustling, but you can't quite make out what it is. And then Thomas clears his throat. Litonk, adult, we should maybe go. I think your friends want to catch up.
I mean, okay, right, okay. I mean, this guy's the captain of the guard, isn't this his whole thing? Like, law and stuff, and...
Knowing what you can fuck.
Is that in character?
Yes.
I have other...
Reed, do you have any books on this, or a code of law, I guess? Or is it just bestiality is illegal, without any definition of bestiality?
Asking the big questions here.
You told me not to pick on the DM.
You raise some interesting questions. When we have an acting mayor, I will bring your concerns up. But for now, I will define bestiality as I know it when I see it.
I had to ask if he's been watching it.
Well, this is the
Yeah,
best 10 minutes of my day.
You should catch up with your friends. Thomas, without any other input, Thomas kind of guides you out, Litonk.
The tongue's just sort of... I mean, you can't really see it, but he's, like, spaced out, just sort of thinking about the legality and logistics of it.
Mm-hmm.
The legality and logistics of bestiality.
Yeah.
Alright.
Didn't
What I was
they
actually thinking was, at what point does, like, a human and a half orc become bestiality, or not? You know, like, interracial.
Do we... I guess...
Welcome back to Hour 8 of Bestiality Watch.
I guess... So, I want to address your concern. Reed would not have known.
Well,
Right, so I think that Litonk's pretty much being dragged downstairs by the panhandle at this point. Just in a world of his own, trying to work out if, you really could do a were-rat.
For James's sake, as Trees and Jane would know, lycanthropy is technically a disease. They still maintain cognizance in both forms, so they are not technically an animal.
Is that the
Is this what you find out in the library later?
caveat, the clarification of whether it's bestiality or not is awareness?
Consent, surely.
Like, dragons
That's-
are intelligent. They
Yeah,
can probably
and
give consent.
I feel
And
like
they-
if your dragon didn't want you fucking it, you wouldn't be fucking it.
also, they totally have sex with people all the time. If anything, dragons take advantage of the opposite thing and have sex with people not realizing that they're dragons.
Hey?
I think I'd realise if I were a dragon.
No, they frequently turn into. It's like, Olympian gods, like turning into puddles and stuff.
Trees have illumination.
So is that bestiality?
Well, no, a
No, that's
puddle
water
is.
sports.
Yeah.
No, if a dragon morphs into a person and then has sex with a person,
The
is that
person wouldn't.
bestiality?
The person would not be guilty of a crime.
No, with the dragon.
Dragon would probably be guilty of something like morally, but I don't think there's a law.
Is it morally incorrect, I guess?
Uninformed consent.
Yeah.
Is it uninformed consent?
If
If you misinform-
You're not having
as a dragon?
sex with a dragon, are you? You're having sex with a person. who
With a
happens to have
person
the
that is
mind of a
secretly a dragon. If the other person knew that they were a dragon in human form and they were cool with that, that'd be fine. I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you're not giving them the chance to say no to knowing it's a dragon in human form.
Yeah. So we cleared up on that?
I can't tell if Jane's gone quiet by choice or cut out again.
That was definitely by choice.
It was.
Really, I'd appreciate your input.
These feel like they're DM answer questions rather than.
Yeah, this is gonna turn into a Q&A episode instead of a play session. If
We didn't
James,
get many questions asked, so we're just gonna have James on the streams.
Yeah.
if James is satisfied, we can continue to, the interrogation that you guys had planned.
I don't think he's going to be satisfied until he's doing it with an animal at this point.
No, I could have sex with a person as long as they have the mind of a dragon. I think.
I just want to know, when we go to interview this were-rat,
Uh-huh.
are you going to try and get the number?
No.
Okay.
I'm not convinced I actually know any better now, but I'm confused enough to forget that I'm actually concerned about anything, so I think we can continue.
Okay. So, Thomas does in fact have Litonk by the panhandle, just kind of walking down the stairs.
You can hear a clunk, clunk, clunk as Litonk's feet sort of dance on the steps.
Yeah.
So, Rat is in the cellar dungeon.
Right, I'll assume that we just loiter outside of it, looking steadily more impatient and a little bit concerned as to where Litonk is.
Yes, so Thomas brings Litonk down. Litonk's nice added detail of his kind of legs clapping on the stairs as he's being dragged down. You guys kind of look at Thomas as he's bringing you, but he just shrugs and leads you to the first floor and then to a cellar door. He places Litonk down gently and
My heels are so sore.
I was really confused as to why there was a cellar door on the first floor.
Well, the door to the cellar.
No, first floor isn't ground floor.
Okay.
It's the second floor. Your first floor.
I think that's a British and American thing.
Yeah, I processed it eventually. I was just really confused as to how there was a cellar there. I was like, are we back at the Moore estate? Is everything to fuck again? How many chairs are there screwed to the walls? That's usually the giveaway.
It's a cell, so they're probably all screwed to the walls.
I think they're probably bolted to the walls.
Right.
Yes.
Alright, I'll just fuck off.
Outside the door to the cellar, which is on the ground floor.
I just feel bad.
30 prisoners escaped. How'd they do that? They got a fucking screwdriver, mate.
Tom,
We never saw it coming.
Fucking what?
Cell doors with just screwed into the wall. So the prisoner's just got a screwdriver and fucking... But I also like the idea that every door in the prison's just screwed to the wall. Screwdriver.
Thomas
Walked
says
straight out.
they don't usually keep anybody except the really bad people here. I don't even know if there's anybody besides the rat, so just keep your guard up.